proudly on AFR Talk. After the top of the hour news from American Family News, One News Now, onenewsnow.com, we are going to be joined by an evangelical Christian missionary who lives and works in Egypt and has really lived in what has been described as the cradle of the Muslim Brotherhood. And we're going to get a point of view directly from this guest that we rarely have access to. So that's at the top of the hour. And then we will be joined by Ben Johnson, U.S. Bureau Chief, LifeSite News, on a story on Obamacare, privacy, and the navigators associated with the Obamacare law. But right now I want to go to Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz. I'm not going to do the birther thing. No, I'm not going to put... let me tell you something. The bottom line is, it's like drinking from a fire hose. We've got so many things that we want to get into the show, and that's why we move so quickly. And I would love to have more time in that sense, in every sense. But bottom line, we get to it, we go, and we make choices on what we're going to cover. Tonight, we're covering this because I just love how Senator Cruz handled the pro-Obamacare protesters who were the anti-defund gang last night in Dallas, how he handled them. And remember, just like race is going to be thrown into every conversation, closer we get to the election, you're going to see more and more of this coming out of the left and people who are, well, let's take the senator and how he dealt with it. Roll it.
There is a new paradigm. Gentlemen, thank you for sharing your views. You know, part of the First Amendment is about respecting the views of others. Sir, you know, I'll make a couple of observations about those two young men. Number one, I agree with them. They should have health care, and Obamacare is causing more and more people struggling to climb the economic ladder to lose their health care. And number two, in the world of AstroTurf, fake grassroots, you know, President Obama's group, Organizing for America, is trying to pay people to pretend that the grassroots are with them. I got to tell you, every time they've come to protest in Texas, they've sent a small group of people, and y'all have outnumbered them 2 and 3 and 4 to 1.
Well played. And the other part to it is you have to understand that when we've seen union events and the protesters, you go, how do they all show up and what's going on there? Yeah, they're also trained to do that. We covered that a couple of years ago before we got hit with the Affordable Care Act, a.k.a. Obamacare. So my question to you is this. 1-888-589-8840. It's the number? No, that's the number. 1-888-589-8840. 888-589-8840. Would you heckle at an event? Would you disrupt an event like this where you disagree with the message or the messenger? 1-888-589-8840. That's 888-589-8840. Would you heckle, disrupt, shout down a speaker because of the message or the fact that you didn't like that particular speaker? Would you do that? Why or why not? This is going to be happening a lot more. We're going to see it a lot more. I've seen it out of a number of camps, and I criticize it always. Nonetheless, I wanted to know what you think about it, because this is the state of politics today. The other part, too, this is interestingly enough, the left always accuses the right of what they do. Think about Occupy Wall Street and the Tea Party and the differences. and what took place at those events. All right, we'll get the phone. Phones are lighting up, and I want to get to the calls ASAP. As soon as I get a name and we're set, we'll take them. 1-888-589-8840. And I'm reading the screen. There are no. Okay, just wanted to make sure because I know Cedra only has 2 hands, and she does an incredible job. Always be nice to Cedra. Always be nice. Get to the point. Say, hey, my name and location, and then she'll put you in, and I'll put you on. 1-888-589-8840. But it is a tactic they have used, and it is not about actually having a discussion or a debate, because it's not about disagreeing with the person at a town hall meeting per se. You can ask a question and disagree, and then maybe have a back and forth. It's about shouting down or disrupting an event, and that's the real problem. So we'll go to Ohio. Yeah? I can't. Not yet. Not ready. All right. Now we're ready. Brian in Ohio. Great to be with you. Yep. Your thoughts on heckling?
Not yet. Not ready. Hello?
Yes, sir. Just talk to me.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I think it is the height of rudeness to heckle someone. Why come to be informed at any type of meeting when you want information and you can't get information if someone's heckling? I think that's rude, and it makes no sense to me.
All right, so bottom line, you're not going to do it, and you're against it. Well said. 1-888-589-8840. We go to Cody in the great state of Arkansas. Cody, are you a heckler?
No, sir. I was raised to respect people no matter how much I disagree with them. They're still a person with their own rights to their own opinion. So I would respectfully get up and walk out more than likely.
I got to tell you something, Cody. I appreciate your point of view and appreciate your upbringing. I think a lot of us do, and we wish others had the kind of home training that you obviously have. Thank you, my friend. Take care. All right. 1-888-589-8840. 1-888-589-8840. Heckling. We go to Diana in the great state of Tennessee. Hello, Diana.
I love your Christian channel. I love every person that you have speaking on your channel, from Sandy Rios to Dan Celia. I love your show. But you know what?
Great.
Cruz is not the reason we're in the shape we're in. They're heckling somebody who is trying to help the situation.
Right.
We are in very, very bad shape, honey. When you can go and use your food stamps and you can buy 55-inch widescreen TVs, and yes, it happens at Costco, Sam's, you name it, and it is totally legal.
Okay, so tell me this, Diana. I hear you, and I'm picking up what you're putting down, but tell me this. When it comes to heckling, if you disagreed with the person or with what the meeting was advocating, would you disrupt it? Would you heckle?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, tell me why not.
Because I was raised to respect other people. And this man is up there trying to help. He's trying to state what he wants to do, what needs to be done. And then, for these people just to jump in there and interrupt him, he's not the reason we're in the shape we're in.
Diana,
no,
well said.
No, sir.
I do appreciate you, Diana. Thank you very much. You take care. All right, we keep going, and we go to Joe in Texas. Hecklers, that's the question. Would you heckle? Would you disrupt? Joe in the great state of Texas.
Hey, Kramer, I love your show, man, but I never can get in there and talk to you. No, I wouldn't, sir. I'm 57, Tejano, Mexican, American, and I'm proud of it. And especially what happened here in the capital of Texas, where they were heckling too and wanting to throw that stuff. Those people are I don't know, they're from another world, man. But it's getting scarier. But I wouldn't do it, sir. Have a good one.
Hey, thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Appreciate you being part of the show. Big time. Tell me, as we keep going, 1-888-589-8840, saying no to heckling. That's what I'm getting. Gina, Arkansas, the natural state. Gina, are you a heckler? Would you heckle?
No, I wouldn't. I think it's very disrespectful, and most people that do heckle they do it for a reason. They don't want the speaker to be heard. So it just lessens their value when they heckle because they're making their own point that what's being said is true and that they would rather their voice overpower that person than to let them speak.
Well said, Gina. Can't add anything to it other than to say thank you, Kirk, in the great state of Louisiana. Kirk, are you a heckler?
Yes, sir, I am. Until I feel like there's more town hall meetings and stuff like that, I will speak out, you know.
Even if you're disrupting, you've made one statement, people know where you're going, you would still disrupt the entire event. Why?
Well, if I cannot get my opinion across to people that are like do not have town hall meetings and stuff like that, then yes, I will.
Wait a second. You don't have an opportunity to get your opinion across? We live in a society where anybody can start a blog. They can do, forms of communication, getting your message out there. I don't see that as the problem. Well, so I'm still asking, why do you think your speech is more important than everybody else's speech?
Well, I don't really believe that mine is more important than theirs. I don't see too many forms for me to be able to get out and get my word in.
So therefore, you need to disrupt others and shout down others for you to be heard.
Yes.
Okay. I'll leave it at that. Kirk, thank you. Appreciate your point of view. Thank you for being part of the show. Make your own judgments. I think it's a pretty easy one. Nonetheless, when we see this type of behavior, we see where it goes. I wanted you all to recognize and to remind you that the vast majority of Americans feel the same way you do, and we need to remind each other of that. And, by the way, with hecklers, you need to remove them immediately. That's my thought. Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth, AFR Talk.